So, friendships. Friendships at 18, hanging a body that we'd made out of legs and arms of clothes and stuffed with paper out of the printers in the computer room. And we hung this body 2 floors out of the major building that we worked in. And it was about 3 in the morning. And there was nobody around, centre of London, and this body is swinging outside. And we fell about laughing, and the security guard was furious, and it was wonderful. I spent 7 years laughing constantly. But, you know, halfway through those 7 years, I kind of thought, oh, I think I might have to concentrate on my career somewhere around here. And I might have to stop wearing these ripped jeans, and I might have to think about actually where I'm going. But that was good. Around about the same time, I did quite a lot of problem solving, and I haven't stopped doing it. So the problem solving was for the shipping company that I worked for. We'd have all these ships come in, and we'd have to get a tape with all of the information, with all of the stuff that was coming in on the ship to Tilbury docks. And we had to get all the information off so that we could print bills of lading, so that at the docks they were allowed to take all this stuff off the ship. And of course, the tape would arrive and it'd be broken. And you know, how do you then recreate bits of data? And how do you restart systems that fell over because the computer at that time wasn't all that reliable? It was fabulous. I used to love that stuff. We used to have competitions to see who could make the work for it, the overnight batch work the fastest. Who could do it the quickest, get done by 3 or 3:15 or, you know, maybe even 2:59. And then we'd all go to the pub. It's kind of not like that anymore, but I've got amazing friends from that time. So friendships were really important to me. Problem solving, I still love. Yeah, it's lucrative. But more important to me was this intellect, something that challenged my intellect. My company, IBM, now for 20 years, but they sent me off to America. They said, oh, go and write a book. You know more about tapes, tape management and mainframes than anybody in our country. And in fact, it turned out there was 1 German, 1 Australian and me, and we knew the most about these big systems and about how you applied tape technology to those big systems and how you made it really work. It was fab. I got on the plane, I'm sat next to this guy, he said, I'm called poetic, he got a gold tooth. I said, oh, but I'm going to write a book. And he said, oh, right. I said, actually, I think we've got to write 3. He went, oh my God, a trilogy on your first book. And I got to live in America for 3 months, and I got to go and write this book, and my mum read it, and she said, oh, it was wonderful, the pictures were fabulous. Don't know what it said, but, you know. So, you know, this is still a sparkling career for me. I'll pick one more, the awe-inspiring. I was reading this book, it was called Chaos by somebody called Gleich, and it was all about chaos theory, and I'm sitting on the tube and I'm reading this, and he says, oh yeah, and there's this chap, Benoit Mandelbrot, and he's done all this stuff, and it's fractals, and it's really interesting. And he used to work at IBM. Now at IBM, we've got this enormous kind of yellow pages. It's called Blue Pages, and it's got all the 300,000 odd people that work in IBM. When I got into work, I kind of looked on Blue Pages, and I did a search, and I searched for Benoit Mandelbrot, and sure enough, he works with me. He works in the same company that I do. This guy that created fractal theory. I was absolutely gobsmacked. So loads of awe-inspiring moments in my career, lots of problem solving, lots of fun, absolutely lots of fun. I want to convince you that it's really, really the thing to do and the thing to stick with. You know, the best thing is I can go and do anything I want to do now. So I've been a technical manager, I've done technical marketing, I've done pre-sales, I've been a salesperson. I've done so many things. In a big company, it's easier to move around, but there's just so much you could be. So now I'm going to tell you just what kind of opportunity you've got in all of this. Where did I put my widget? Okay. So as Alan says, we're getting better, but we're not brilliant. Only 18+% of the IT workforce are women. That means there's lots of room for you. There's loads of employers out there looking to bring up their numbers of women, which means you won't get treated specially, but they will be looking for women to interview. And so, if you get your CVs in and you've done it right, then they will interview you because they're looking for the women. They are told they need to get their numbers up and they're trying hard. It's a big opportunity for you. It's also a big opportunity because, like me and one or two of other of us, we're an ageing workforce. So we're all getting old, and there aren't going to be enough white males from that segment under 45 available in the marketplace for the employers to go after. So you're in there. This is available for you. You can have this. And you know, Europe, if it doesn't fix this problem, is gonna have a shortfall. So it really is ripe for the picking. You can have jobs in this area. Just recently, as you were saying, the McKinsey organisation has produced a couple of reports. They're called Women Matter. They did one a couple of years ago, and they've just done another one now. Very well worth reading. I do have a copy of it, but I'm taking it away with me, but you can come and snatch a quick read after if you want. Now, McKinsey, in the Women Matter papers, tried to say why women mattered to the industry as a whole, to IT industry, and we can apply it to us. We matter because we drive up profit. This is absolutely key for them. They hadn't worked this out until very recently. So the tall pink strand is those companies that have got a higher percentage of women. 30% is where they say it gets really best, you know, and if you could get 50-50, that's fabulous. And the lower pink bar is where they didn't have that. So they got more return on investment if they, or more return on equity if they had more women in the company. This is why they want you. More earnings before interest and tax if they had more women in the company. This is profitable businesses. And the stock price grows faster if they've got more women in the company. Hey! Now, the second paper, the one that I've got here, they kind of went, oh, hang on a minute. We've seen all this stuff. We've seen women bring more profits. So how come? How does that work? And we speculated last year when they did the paper that it was probably because women had a different style, as we've heard this morning. And the style that we suspected it was around is a management style. So there are two kind of noted management styles. One is transformational management, and the other is transactional. So we take transactional first. Transactional is get there and I'll give you £1,000. Or get there, or don't get there, and you'll be sacked. Transactional. I'm sorry I'm being very kind of generalist about this, but I haven't got the time to be any deeper. Transformational is when we get there, it's going to be wonderful. We're all going to love it. We're going to feel brilliant. It's just going to be. So guess which style women prefer? They like the inspirational one. And what's really interesting is that companies with more transformational managers have happier employees. And companies with happier employees make more money. So, you know, it all starts to make sense. And this report says, sure enough, you're amazing. You women, you do this stuff, you inspire people. We need you.